hear me? Am I on? I am so thrilled and excited to be here for so many reasons, but one that I just thought of is that, so I got sober 12 years ago. So many of us recovering people, we consider the day we got sober as one of our birthdays, because it's like when our real life starts. And so I'm 12 right now, and I just got a Lifetime Achievement Award, okay? And I'm not even a teenager. So I am definitely going to go home to my 12-year-old son and say, Chase, what are you doing with your little 12-year-old life? Because also 12, Lifetime Achievement. So I'm going to jump into this right now because I worked really hard on this speech because I want you guys to be proud and happy that you picked me for this award and not regret it. So I have to tell you that I do my job now. My career is to write and to speak. But my most important work, the work that I treasure and cherish every day, is the reading and the listening. So every day I spend half of my day writing, and I spend the other half of my day reading. Because I write so honestly on the internet, women from all over the world write back to me. So I read every single email that I get. I open them up, I sit in my house, and I read stories from women. I read about women's joy and loss and love and disappointment and tragedy and triumph, and it has completely and totally changed my life. Not the reading, not the writing and the speaking, but the reading and the listening to women's stories. Because I have learned, oh my gosh, if you guys knew how exactly alike we all are underneath our layers, I think that, or at least I thought before, that I'd stay on the surface with other people because that was a safe place to be, right? So I just, kind of talk to other people about things like, I don't know, countertops and highlights and soccer practice and these sorts of things because those things seemed safe. But the problem with the surface stuff is that if you stay there, you end up lonely all the time because the surface stuff is different for everybody. But when you take this leap of faith and you go 12 layers deeper and you say what the thing you're thinking when you're saying the other thing, right? That's basically what I do. I just say the thing I'm thinking when you're supposed to say something else. So like when somebody, like you're supposed to say, so how was your day? But what I'm really thinking is, I'm so lonely. And when you just say the thing that you're thinking when you're supposed to be saying something else, this magical thing happens because, sometimes actually the other person looks at you like, slow down, I just want to talk about soccer practice, all right? But sometimes what happens is the other person becomes unlocked, right? They're so desperate to get real, and they just want to hear that we're all the same. And so from these letters, I just sit there, my heart is broken open by these stories, and I just feel like my heart's become so broken open so many times that the whole world just fits inside. And I feel braver, and I feel cozier on earth because I know that we're all the same. And so when I started thinking about the theme of tonight, our time to shine, I started considering the question, well, if we're all the same, then why is it that some people, if we're all made of the same stuff, then why is it that some people shine so bright that they just light up the whole room? And they just warm up the whole room with how bright they shine. So I started thinking about that, and what I did is I made a list of women who are in my life in some capacity, and who I find that they shine, right? And so what it came down to is that these people, all of these women, this list that I made, they all had purpose and peace. Because if you have purpose without peace, you can be kind of like a wrecking ball, right? Because you're trying to get your stuff done and mowing people down in the way. But if you have peace without purpose, then you're kind of just sitting there, right? So the people had to have purpose plus peace, because I think purpose plus peace equals joy. And joyful women are the women who shine, right? So I wrote this list, and I looked at it really, really hard, and I the crazy thing is that I couldn't find any commonalities, right? These are all very, very different women on my list. There were women from every single different background. There were women of every age. There were women of every faith. There were women of no faith. There were women, there were two really, really famous women who were very, very wealthy. There was one woman who was this crazy, badass single mom who can't rub two sticks together right now to make money, but is just amazing. And so I couldn't find any commonality, so I started calling them to interview them. And so some of them called me back. The ones who didn't have lost shine points. But some of them started calling me back, so I asked them questions about their lives. I'm trying to write this speech. I need to know what makes you people shine, right? And here's what I learned. They had absolutely nothing in common other than the fact that they do the same things every day. They have these little disciplines in their life that they do that result in joy. Which makes sense, right? Because peace and purpose, like love, are not things that we just wait around for or just happen to some people, to lucky people, and they don't happen to other people. Peace and joy and purpose and love are things that are created by certain people, right? They're just the results of habits. And so what I did for this speech tonight is that I came up with the 5 habits that all of these shiniest women in my life do every day. And I picked the 5 that I do too, because I wanted to be a part of it.